Hey everybody, it's Kelly V, the Pop Pixie here. This is a very special episode of Rockin' Token Talking with my very good friend Lawrence Wallace. It's a one-on-one interview. Thanks so much for supporting. We're gonna get right to it. Here he is. He's gonna. Hello.
Hi.
I think you have to hit share video at the bottom, maybe.
Share screen at host disabled participant screen sharing. You have it disabled?
I don't think so.
There we
There
go.
we go. Yeah, I guess I do. There, I see you. Can you see me?
Yeah, well, I see.
There
There we
we
go.
go.
Okay.
All right, hey man. So thanks so much for doing this. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Not too bad. Doing okay. Let me turn the light on.
All right,
I light in this. I can hear you.
cool. Got a little bit of a lag there, but there we go. Maybe I'll make my light a little brighter.
Still kind of.
There we go. All right, so you're probably the first person that's gonna play some music on my show. Have you decided what song you're gonna play?
I actually don't have any of my stuff here really that has the backing tracks with them.
Oh,
Originally.
so you're just gonna wing it.
I mean, I could like noodle around like as an intro or something.
Sounds good to me.
So it's just like just play something like. Some noodly thing.
Some noodly thing. I love noodly music. So let's just get a little bit of a background on you. What was your first band and what were your projects subsequent to doing some solo stuff now? So basically your whole history.
You clip you clip it. Oh, my whole history. Okay. Well, I started playing when back in like 2001, and I started taking guitar lessons from a guy down the street who I had. It's a guy who played acoustic. Get the hell out of here! No, cat. Sorry. Um, yeah, I was about 16, and I just started learning how to play the guitar, and it's quite difficult in the very beginning. Like you had to build the calluses up and all that stuff. So it was at a music store called Accent Music that are now out of business, I think. But but about 4 months in, I listened to a lot of Metallica. That was my main influence. About 4 months in, I started jamming with these kids, with these other kids, and it was just me, a drummer, and another guy who played the guitar just down in the basement of his house, and
Nice.
we would just jam. But it actually felt like we were rock stars. You know, it really felt because like it's the first time that I actually. It was the first time I ever jammed with an actual drummer, and
Yeah.
and get the hell out of here. It was the first time I actually jammed with a like an actual drummer, and we were loud enough to go over the drums, so it actually felt like we were like really rocking out. You know, I only knew how to play like power chords and a couple like chuggy stuff. Like so, it's like I was about as good as to be able to go like whatever. You know what I mean? And
Aw.
which it's just like basic standard stuff that like metal riffs and let me close the door real quick. So
we run a very high technical stuff here on my show. But yeah, go ahead.
but I mean that's how I started out playing with them, and it didn't last very long because the kid who asked me to join his band eventually he started getting a lot more interested in golfing
What? Oh, that's a
and a
shame.
lot less interested in music. So like, music was like one of his hobbies, but it wasn't like the main one really. and he started doing other things, and he just kind of lost interest, I guess. So I went elsewhere. Then I started playing with another band from high school, which they were terrible. They blew the speakers on my amp, and I had some bad experiences with that, and their music was really bad. So I ended up quitting that band, and then uh, I got back with the drummer from the prior band, and we started some new thing, which once again didn't go through very well. Uh, we tried a couple different singers, and a lot of them, most they were pretty much all bad. Everybody who tried out was terrible, and we couldn't really hold a band together at all. And then after that band, that was when I think that was when I joined that band that I was telling you about, Counteract. That opened for like some pretty big bands. We opened for Hailstorm. We opened for a couple others. Uh,
Nice. Yeah.
and that that was kind of cool, but that didn't last either. And then there was another band called Improper Burial. That was like a death metal band that I was in. And then after
Mhm.
that, it was me and Steve with the Serpent of Old, Shadows and the Crypt stuff. Then I started just doing my own thing. So we just kept that. We like when it came down to bands that played out, and this is over everything I'm saying is over the course of years. I was
Yeah.
in this band, I was in that band, and I was in this band. But that's what kind of where it started, and now me and Steve are like just recording and not playing live. We might eventually in the future sometime. I don't know if we ever will, but we never have yet. And uh, it's just that, and it's just my solo stuff, and I'm not actually playing out at all now. When it comes
I
to a
mean,
band.
that was one of the things about trying to promote Serpent of Old for you guys, is not wanting to play live and not being able to do that, which I think right now, and other people in that group disagree wholeheartedly, but playing live I think is really, really important. And I think now that we've been deprived of being able to do so, more people just want to get out and do it, and more people just want to go to shows more than ever. So I hope that you try to get yourself out there, even as a solo. I think that that would be super good. That was just weird because you were just sitting on the bed staring at me, and then it froze and it didn't show you getting up, and you were just superhumanly somewhere else. It's like, bam.
Yeah,
Um,
I had to get up and move because you're clicking so bad. That's the reason why I leaned in. I'm like, what's wrong with this thing?
I know. I'm sorry about that. Um, you know, I think that it's really important to play live. I really do. But I also know you and I share some pretty rare stuff, and that might be a difficulty for you medically and physically.
Well, I think I'm pretty good to be able to play on stage. I just can't carry heavy amps and stuff,
So yeah,
unfortunately.
exactly. You are the artist, and everybody else does all the stuff, and you just arrive and be fabulous and leave. Right? That's it, man. That's how it should go down, and it
That
should.
it would be nice if it was like that, but
And I don't see why not. I truly think you're one of the most incredible undiscovered talents that I've ever heard. Like, I really, really do. And I've heard a lot of music recently. So, well, I really hope that happens. What has COVID inspired new music? Like just being in lockdown, just being shut in? Have you been writing in the last year?
just the recent one that I came out with called Journey Through Time, but uh, I haven't written anything after that yet. I've been
Oh,
thinking about it. Huh?
here comes your mama. Hi, mama.
Yeah, I haven't. You should have. It would be nice if you like you did with that because I had to warm it up. All right, that's cool. Thank you.
Everybody needs a good mama bear.
Right.
Um, I know that um, just being stuck in, I guess, is it freed you up to do more music or less music?
Less, I think, but I mean, I have the time to think of new stuff, but like I don't really see much of a point in writing more music because I have like hundreds and hundreds of songs that I wrote, and no one knows any of the stuff that I got. So I just basically what I recently did is I made an album, and then I decided to throw it out there to try to see if I can get some PR company to like kind of push it, and they said they would, and I gave them money to help me get it out there, and I haven't really seen much come back. And it's been out for like about a month. It's like yeah, it's exactly it, for over a month actually. It's been out for over a month, and I got a couple blog posts here and there. I got two reviews, one average size review, and then the other one's just a little short clip thing. But I check every day, and I can't find nothing like that's really coming out. No interviews coming my way, nothing. You know,
Wow. Well,
they don't say it's out there.
that's really shameful on their part. I keep hearing, stuff like this, and I keep, um dealing with stuff like this personally, how hard promotion really, really is. Um, but to pay into something, to take somebody's money and then not do what you promise is just even more shameful. And I'm very, very shocked, that things are working that way, that people will take your money, do very, very little for you. I keep hearing this over and over again, but just how hard it is to break out as a musician or a band right now is really, really difficult, and the whole industry is changing
Yeah, absolutely.
daily, and nobody has any idea the future or what's going to happen or where things are going to go. It's a dark time, man. It's a really dark time. But I do think that online is definitely a new threshold that we have to work with. We're standing on new ground as far as the industry goes, and it can go horribly, horribly bad, or it can be a landmark for changing all the problems that we've been hearing about in the last 10 or 20 years of the failure to support from record labels and things like that. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do actually. Definitely.
Yeah, and I think maybe, I don't want to say that we needed COVID to happen, because that's horrible, but we needed definitely something to shake it up and give it a new perspective. Whether we're going to get what we needed out of it, who knows. And I think
Well,
that depends on the fans as well, to support and keep contributing to online events while people are shut down right now. Keep
yeah,
everybody fed. um but it's overwhelming. I mean,
yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't really expect for someone like me. You know.
mm,
Are
mm.
you clipping again? It sounds like you're clipping again.
Yeah, I know my connection is unstable. I do apologize. There's nothing I can really do about it. um so
That's
you're
cool.
gone.
Oh no, I'm standing here.
I know, but not in front of the camera.
Uh,
There you go. All right, much better. You're kind of lagging too, but I don't really edit them. I just go with the flow. So be it as it may, that's the way it is. I do apologize. Yep, and we're moving again. Interesting.
right.
So
It's
where
doing
are
the
you right now?
in the
Where are
basement in
you
my
like based out of?
southern Philadelphia area.
Southern Philadelphia area. And what are the restrictions? What's going on right now there with
We're
COVID?
allowed out. We're allowed out everywhere, anywhere we want. We just have to wear masks.
Really, things are open.
Yeah, there's everything's open. Yeah, pretty much, except for bars. I think bars are probably closed, maybe, but uh, obvious stuff like movie theaters and shit like that is closed. But we're allowed to go to the store and get stuff. Yeah,
Mm, mm. Yeah, it's very, very weird. Our complete lockdown of stores, except for essential stores, and pharmacies. We have, a suggested curfew. We're, supposed to not associate with family. You know, Nobody listened over the holidays, so we had a huge spike. And I mean, This is like no other time in history, and I can't wait for things to just come back. I think it's going to be like no other time in history when it comes back. It's going to be so good. Um, are you open to taking the vaccine?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
waiting for it.
yeah. You battle some like I I do understand autoimmune related stuff just like me, right?
Yeah,
Do you find that more isolating, like harder to get the courage to go out and about?
not really.
No? You just kind of live and let live sort of attitude.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I won't lie, it kind of affects me. I don't go out unless I absolutely have to, but then when I do, I do. But there's a lot of people who don't want to take the vaccine, don't want to even take it to go back to work or to do shows. And I'm a little bit saddened by that. I wish that people would think about, their health first.
Right, but I mean, when they refuse to take the vaccine, that's just going to prolong everything because if not everyone's taking it and they don't want to take it, then it's like they can't bring everything back up right away because everyone, people are refusing to take it. So it's like, what the hell, man? Like, what are you gonna do? Or like, are you gonna
Yeah,
open shit back up and let it go?
I know. And I think that I'm hoping that there will be enough people that do that it will sort of just lower the severity of it to a more manageable way. I'm not gonna come down on anybody who has a different point of view of me on it. I understand absolutely the complete fear of it.
Yeah,
I understand that it's new and people don't understand it and why they're afraid, but I also know that I don't want to fucking get it and I don't want to get sick and I'm really afraid of that too. So
yeah,
I just don't know. But it's sad that I'm still hearing that people don't think it's real, that it's all being faked and that it's. I just
uh-huh,
can't believe that's still the thought. Even
uh-huh,
if it's exaggerated or manipulated by powers or whatever, just hearing that people still think it's not real is really scary.
yeah. That is kind of stupid.
And there's a lot of people in that general way of thinking, and enough for it to make a difference, which is sad, you
Yeah,
know.
I mean, it's hard to really know anything. Like the way I feel about it is like I only know what I'm told,
Hmm.
and I can say whether or not I believe it based on what I figured out about it.
Hmm.
But I can't like I mean when it comes to these conspiracy theorist types, I can't tell them that they're wrong, but I wouldn't bet that they're right. I would bet that they're probably wrong. That's
Right. I mean, there's great debate as to where it came from or why or how it spread or the effectiveness of masks or whatever. But I do feel that it's a very real thing. And I think it's an impossible situation and that people are doing the very best that they can to cope with something that's so out of control. Um, but I definitely am willing to take it. I just don't know how long it's going to take to filter down to people like us. Like you and me are sitting here with medical conditions where we should be on the first frontline workers, elderly people, the immunocompromised. I should
yeah,
be the way it goes. Right, and I don't think we'll be seeing that shot for a very, very long time, you and I.
exactly. Well, I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't be. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it should be something that's extremely long before it happens, but
I mean, they're saying that they want to have every Canadian vaccinated by September, which I think is high hopes because there's always going to be the people that will refuse it. But to have the opportunity to have all of Canada vaccinated by September, it's a pretty big dream. I really hope it happens. But I think it's going to take a long time to get to the poor people.
yeah, it took a long time as is just to get to where it is. Like I'm actually surprised. I thought it was going to be over with within a few months.
I think everybody did. I think everybody did. We had, I don't know if you remember this, when SARS broke, Toronto had like this 500,000 people freaking concert benefit within a week. It was just huge news and then over and then contained, and then we therapized with therapized with music, right? And this
Yeah.
legendary concert happened, and I was just so expecting that to unfold very quickly, and I'm heartbroken it's taken so long. And I talk to people all over the world, and it's not just here, it's
Yeah.
everywhere. People are just in the same boat, and I think it's going to have a very severe lasting consequence on the psyche of everybody for years to come.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think for once it's like the whole world understand what it feels like to live with a condition like we have. The fear that it kind of projects on our daily life. Everybody's living it right now. Autoimmune is really a messed up thing where the slightest infection or cold could kill you. It can really mess you up, right? So just knowing that in the back of your
Yeah.
head every day and trying to go out and take a city bus or a fucking cab, this is what the world is now dealing with. Right? Oh no, we froze. You've got the most serious look on your face. I don't know if it's still recording on my
A
end.
lot of terrible clipping happening.
I know, and you have you have the most serious look on your face. Oh Lord.
Yeah, I didn't hear any. I don't know how long.
Now you
Hello?
just sound drunk. Okay,
Yeah,
there we go.
the connection's terrible somehow.
I know, I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what's been going on with my internet today. It's been going up and down. But would you agree that maybe the world kind of understands what it's like for us now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's hard. Um, I guess, I'm just looking forward to all the music to come back. What was the song that you created last about? Where did it come from?
The last song that I did,
Hmm.
that must have been the last song on the CD. It didn't really. I mean, it came maybe inspired by video games, maybe like old Sega Genesis games.
Oh, that's a good inspiration. Are you big into video games?
Sorta. I mean, like I'm not like I haven't been following any of the newer ones, but I regressed to the old ones, like the old
Yeah,
arcade from back in the '90s and stuff.
I like those ones too. I'm not big into new video games either.
It's just like I just never followed into it because I never really been like what you would call a gamer, quote unquote. It's just like I have like this nostalgic kind of like attachment to what I did have when I was a kid, I guess maybe.
Hmm. Hmm.
And the music is always kind of drawing my attention on a lot of the games. So that's kind of like why my music sounds the way it does because it's if you listen to it, it kind of has a video game sound to it sometimes, kind of like
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
What was your favorite game?
I can actually have them here. Hold on. There's a box with games and stuff in it. I'll take the computer over here.
Nice.
So the very first one that I ever had, I can actually tell you how it was pretty funny. It was back in like '91. I was swimming around at the pool and I was like telling me what I had for like a birthday present, and she's like, "Oh, we got you video games. We got you like," and I'm like something like that. And I'm like thinking to myself, "Video games? Like, what does that mean?" She's like, "Well, you control what's on the screen." I'm like, "How is that possible?" In my mind, I'm thinking that's impossible because
I
like
know, right?
recorded, like everything that I've seen was already pre-done and then it's played. I'm
Uh,
like, how am I supposed to be able to control something that's already like pre-recorded? This is this is one of my favorite ones.
oh
It's
wow.
called the Shadow Blasters. This is a fun one. Yeah, and then there's like Strider, that's another one. This one here, you can see that.
I
It's actually
can't.
this
That's
one's
so cool.
this one's kind of more popular than the other one. I have like ox here.
That's so cool. They're probably worth more now than they ever were before, but yeah, I
Maybe.
do. I mean, I remember being like a little older than a toddler, wondering how they got the people inside the radio.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
everything's still kind of technologically magical to me, right?
Remember Golden Axe? I don't know if you remember that one.
I don't. I
Yeah,
don't.
got a ton of them. Yeah, that's I know what you mean now.
Aw. See, like your video games. I mean, I guess that makes sense actually. As to now I hear it in the music for sure.
Yeah, well, I that was probably the last song that I wrote came from an idea like Sega games.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
so I figured I'd add it.
So is Philly like do you think a city that's gonna keep its musical heritage? Are you guys losing your venues right now, just like everybody else? Or
I'm not sure what's happening with them. Probably we will. There wasn't a whole lot there anyway to begin with, honestly. We had
really?
we had the Trocadero, that was a pretty decent one, but that before COVID, that just shut down. The Electric Factory shut down. Uh, so yeah, I don't think we have much in Philadelphia. I haven't even been up there really to check. I haven't
Wow.
bothered around really. Have not supported any local shows. Nothing. It's just kind of meh, you know. There was like in Philadelphia, there wasn't really a whole lot there anyway. You know.
And would you say, and again, we're talking about a big city, there should be a lot of diversity, there should be a lot of places for, rock and metal to exist, and it just doesn't, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of a shame. It's a huge city. There should be, venues supporting it. It's getting harder and harder for the live venue places to stay open. That's kind of a shame. So,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. How do you see the future of your career going?
As a
What do you
musician,
want to happen? Do you want to join a band? Do you want to tour, or do you want to just do the online thing?
I kind of like when it comes to original stuff. I'm happy with doing just online and maybe going out, maybe open mic nights if they ever happen again. Just simple shit like that. But when it comes to cover songs, I'm down with like I'd be definitely down with joining a cover band and going out and playing because
Oh my gosh, joining a cover band. Why a cover band?
it's just because I've done it before and it was fun.
What band? What cover?
It was called Chasing Squirrels. We just covered old '90s songs mostly, like stuff that used to come on like rock radio back in like the '90s and stuff.
So if you had to pick one band to do a cover band with, like one famous band, what band would it be?
What does that mean? Like
Like, would you be a Kiss cover band, an AC/DC cover band, a Metallica cover band?
you mean like tribute bands?
Yeah.
I was thinking just a general cover band, like covering many things, but I guess
When I think cover band, I think,
tribute band. Yeah, a tribute band.
tribute band. Yeah,
I would say
wrong word.
Metallica is not a bad one to go with because as long as they allow me to like kind of do my own solos.
Then you're not really a tribute
Whatever.
band. Are you saying your solos are better than theirs?
Than Kirk's, I think. I mean, uh,
Just putting it out there, guys.
I don't know. It's an opinion-based thing, but it would be more fun to do my own than his copying them.
That would be hard, right? That would be hard. And I don't know what it is about London. So many cover bands here that on Halloween there wasn't even a legit band to go see. Like, not that they're not a legit band, but I mean, it was just all cover bands.
Uh,
And then everything shut down. I was like, oh, that's just disappointing, right?
yeah. Well, yeah, that does suck.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think we have it better in the States than that.
I think you guys do too. Metal in the States is definitely a lot bigger. There's a lot more bands, there's a lot more venues, there's a lot more support. Just trying to break from Canada to the US is so much harder because you have to work in international visas. So, I mean, to play and break out there and get big, you know, you're looking at, you know, $10,000 each member of your band to just come across the border. So why would they do that when they can just hire one of the billions of good bands from the States? So I think that Canadian metal music is a little bit harder to promote and get out there and get known and get big. But I think it's definitely making a comeback. I think in the last few years, it's a lot more popular than it's ever been. You know, and I think it's steadily growing.
That's good.
I do. I do. I mean, the fan base is here and it's loyal. That we just need to start doing more festivals and events comparable to the USA.
Yeah.
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 So, I don't know. I heard sad things like, you know, a promoter in southwestern Ontario here took everybody's money, bands, at venues, everything, and then just took off with all the money, you know. So putting on festivals here is kind of a bit of a sore spot, but I hope, you know,
Oh,
we can do something to change that, right? There's
that's
so many bad promoters, so many bad sleazy people in this industry. It's really hard to get your way through.
oh yeah. Some promoters I've seen it where they don't even show up to the shows at all. They're like somewhere else, or like they can't contact them and stuff. I've seen
I,
that before.
yeah, and I've also tried to promote shows from another state or another country, and I mean, you almost have to be there to make sure that they show up,
Yeah.
right? I mean, yeah, it's one of the hardest jobs I think I've ever honestly had to do, um, but also the most rewarding. So really happy to do it. Um, but yeah, I think, yeah, you should pursue that if that's what you want to do. Is start a little band, like just start a tribute band then, outside of everything else.
I maybe
I'm
it's some-
seeing, you know, people having great success with just doing like a little weekly jam out of their house on YouTube,
yeah. Well,
covering songs and just, you know, having fun, right? Way less serious now.
yeah. I don't imagine anything like that's gonna work for me in terms of getting people's attention.
Why not?
Just nothing. I've tried many different things before. Nothing ever seemed to work. It's
Hmm.
something that the more is needed than that. I think. I don't know. It
I
doesn't make any sense. There's some people that get like millions of views over, and the videos are stupid, and everything is just you would expect it not even to be anything, and it is.
I know. Watch me do my dog's hair. Like, I mean, just stupid shit, right?
Yeah,
Or how to apply fake eyelashes. You know what I mean? Stupid shit, right? And then I come across music that's some of the best music I've ever heard. There's like 24 views on it. And some of those are my shows. So hey, it's fine. I mean, I guess the moral of the story, maybe one of the morals of the story you can find with people like Anvil is to just never give up. And you never know, it might come when you least expect it, right? Yeah, I don't know. We might have lost you for good. Actually, we were talking before, and when he puts his head right in front of that well said, it almost looks like he has cat ears. I wonder if that'll happen. Oh, we lost him completely. Thank you so much, Lawrence Wallace, for a little peek inside your life. I do think that those little jams, get-togethers, or interviews in people's homes, like I've been doing, is a really awesome way for fans to get to see inside somebody's space, somebody's headspace, their creative space, maybe their studio where they create the things that inspire us so much. So thank you so much for doing these. It's really an honor. Thank you so much, Lawrence, for all your support, your donations to music, and time and effort is incredible. You are truly one of the most gifted guitarists I've ever heard. I really hope you come to all the success that's deserved to you, and I will always do what I can to promote you, to send you around, to get you out there, because I truly believe in you. Thanks so much from the bottom of my heart, Kelly V, Pop Pixie. And you've been listening to Rock and Token Talk and one-on-ones. on rockmetaltalk.com, sponsored by RFL. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening and supporting Kelly B.